fuse neutral is a neutral conductor that is connected to a fuse. When the fuse opens, it isolates the neutral conductor from the circuit, effectively breaking the electrical circuit. Recognizing a fuse neutral involves looking for several key indicators. Firstly, check for the presence of a fuse inline with the neutral conductor. This is the most direct way to identify a fuse neutral. Secondly, fuse neutrals are often insulated, unlike the bare neutral conductors commonly found in many circuits. Insulation provides an additional layer of protection and identification. Thirdly, pay attention to color coding. In some installations, fuse neutrals may be identified by a specific color, such as white with a red stripe or orange. This color coding helps electricians quickly identify the neutral conductor that is fused. Fuse neutrals are typically found in several locations. These locations include at the main service panel or electrical distribution board, in disconnect switches for generators, transformers, or other equipment, and near high current loads such as electric ovens or dryers. Understanding the purpose and function of a fuse neutral is essential for electrical safety and troubleshooting. A fuse neutral provides a crucial safety mechanism by interrupting the neutral path in the event of an overcurrent or fault condition. This helps to prevent electrical shock and equipment damage. When working with electrical systems, it is important to be able to identify fuse neutrals and understand their role in the circuit. Always follow proper safety procedures and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any doubts or concerns. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines and requirements for electrical installations, including the use of fuse neutrals. The 2008 edition of the NEC outlines specific rules and regulations related to neutral conductors and overcurrent protection. When installing or maintaining electrical systems, it is crucial to adhere to the NEC requirements to ensure safety and compliance. Fuse neutrals are not as common in residential wiring as they are in commercial or industrial applications. However, they can still be found in some residential settings, particularly in older homes or in installations with specific equipment. When inspecting an electrical panel, carefully examine the neutral busbar and look for any fuses that are connected to neutral conductors. If you find a fuse neutral, make sure it is properly labeled and protected. It is also important to verify that the fuse is the correct size and type for the circuit. Replacing a fuse with the wrong size or type can create a safety hazard. In commercial and industrial settings, fuse neutrals are more common due to the higher current loads and the presence of specialized equipment. For example, generators and transformers often have fuse neutrals to protect against ground faults and other electrical problems. Disconnect switches for these types of equipment may also incorporate fuse neutrals for added safety. When working with high current loads, such as electric ovens or dryers, it is important to ensure that the neutral conductor is properly sized and protected. Fuse neutrals can provide an extra layer of protection in these applications by interrupting the neutral path in the event of an overcurrent. If you are unsure about the presence or function of a fuse neutral in an electrical system, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician can inspect the system, identify any fuse neutrals, and ensure that they are properly installed and maintained. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical components, and use appropriate personal protective equipment. In addition to identifying fuse neutrals, it is also important to understand the purpose and function of other common electrical components such as circuit breakers, ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs, and arc fault circuit interrupters or SCIs. These devices provide additional layers of protection against electrical hazards. Circuit breakers are designed to trip and interrupt the circuit in the event of an overcurrent or short circuit. GFCIs are designed to protect against ground faults, which can occur when electricity leaks from a circuit to ground. SCIs are designed to protect against arc faults, which can occur when there is a loose connection or damaged insulation in a circuit. By understanding the function of these different types of protective devices, you can better protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. When working with electrical systems, it is also important to follow proper wiring techniques. This includes using the correct wire size, making secure connections, and properly grounding the system. Improper wiring can create a variety of electrical problems, including overcurrents, short circuits, and ground faults. It is also important to regularly inspect electrical systems for signs of damage or wear. This includes checking for loose connections, frayed wires, and cracked insulation. If you find any signs of damage, it is important to repair or replace the affected components as soon as possible. By following proper safety procedures and maintaining electrical systems, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of yourself and others. Remember that electricity is a powerful force, and it should always be treated with respect. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. Understanding the different types of electrical conductors is also crucial for safe and effective electrical work. The most common types of conductors are copper and aluminum. Copper is a better conductor of electricity than aluminum, but it is also more expensive. Aluminum is lighter than copper, which can be an advantage in some applications. The size of the conductor is also important. The larger the conductor, the more current it can safely carry. The NEC specifies the minimum wire size for different types of circuits and applications. It is important to follow these requirements to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. In addition to conductors, electrical systems also include insulators. Insulators are materials that do not conduct electricity. They are used to prevent electricity from flowing where it is not wanted. Common insulators include plastic, rubber, and glass. The thickness and type of insulation are important factors in determining the voltage rating of a conductor. The voltage rating is the maximum voltage that the conductor can safely carry. It is important to use conductors with the correct voltage rating for the application. Electrical systems also include grounding conductors. Grounding conductors provide a path for electricity to flow back to the source in the event of a ground fault. This helps to protect against electrical shock and equipment damage. Grounding conductors are typically made of copper or aluminum and are connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or metal water pipe. The NEC specifies the requirements for grounding electrical systems. It is important to follow these requirements to ensure the safety and effectiveness of the grounding system. In addition to grounding conductors, electrical systems also include bonding conductors. Bonding conductors connect different metal parts of the electrical system together. This helps to equalize the voltage between the different parts and prevent electrical shock. Bonding conductors are typically made of copper or aluminum and are connected to the grounding electrode. The NEC specifies the requirements for bonding electrical systems. It is important to follow these requirements to ensure the safety and effectiveness of the bonding system. When working with electrical systems, it is also important to understand the different types of electrical circuits. The most common types of circuits are branch circuits, feeder circuits, and service circuits. Branch circuits are the circuits that supply power to individual outlets and lights. Feeder circuits are the circuits that supply power to branch circuits. Service circuits are the circuits that connect the electrical system to the utility power grid. The NEC specifies the requirements for each type of circuit. It is important to follow these requirements to ensure the safety and effectiveness of the electrical system. In addition to understanding the different types of circuits, it is also important to understand the different types of electrical loads. The most common types of loads are resistive loads, inductive loads, and capacitive loads. Resistive loads are loads that convert electrical energy into heat, such as heaters and incandescent lights. Inductive loads are loads that store energy in a magnetic field, such as motors and transformers. Capacitive loads are loads that store energy in an electric field, such as capacitors and some types of electronic equipment. The type of load can affect the performance of the electrical system. It is important to consider the type of load when designing and installing electrical systems. When working with electrical systems, it is also important to understand the different types of electrical power. The most common types of power are alternating current, or AC, and direct current, or DC. AC power is the type of power that is supplied by the utility power grid. DC power is the type of power that is supplied by batteries and other DC power sources. AC power is more efficient for transmitting electricity over long distances, while DC power is more efficient for storing electricity. Many electronic devices use DC power, so they require a power adapter to convert AC power into DC power. When working with electrical systems, it is also important to understand the different types of electrical meters. The most common types of meters are voltmeters, ammeters, and ohmmeters. Voltmeters measure voltage, which is the electrical potential difference between 2 points. Ammeters measure current, which is the flow of electrical charge. Ohmmeters measure resistance, which is the opposition to the flow of electrical charge. These meters can be used to troubleshoot electrical problems and verify the safety of electrical systems. Electrical safety is of utmost importance when working with electrical systems. It is crucial to follow all safety procedures and use appropriate personal protective equipment. Always energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Use insulated tools and wear rubber gloves and safety glasses. Be aware of the potential hazards of electricity and take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They have the knowledge and experience to safely and effectively install and maintain electrical systems. Remember that electricity is a powerful force, and it should always be treated with respect. By following proper safety procedures and maintaining electrical systems, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of yourself and others.